Hey guys. So happy to be back. Actually, I've spent the last 4 or 5 minutes trying to change the setup because I don't know why, but every single time I film the next time, everything's broken somehow. Like, I have not touched the gear in 3 weeks, I think, and somehow everything's broken again. Every single time I try to make a new episode, I'm like, why? Why does the universe do this to me? Like, exactly, that's what I think. Anyway, guys, welcome back to this episode. I just had a sudden urge to film something because I want to talk about something, and I just had like so many thoughts, and I was like, we need to record that. But also, like, I'm skipping class right now. I just didn't go to class. Like, guys, how bad is that? How nasty is this? No, I'm sorry, but like, it's just I'm sitting there and I'm like, I get it. Like, I don't care. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I will not be able to put this out because I'm like planning to go to masters anyway. Because if this does not work, if I don't get popular with this, like, this is it for me. I'm done. I'm literally like I'm sitting in class, looking at my classmates who are in. By the way, if you don't know, I'm in my final year, and they're all like, oh, we're going to be financial managers, we're going to be marketing specialists, we're going to be business people. And I'm like, I want to just sing on stage. And if I don't do it, then, like, just kill me at this point. Like, I don't... Why is it so hard? Anyway, I wanted to talk today about the fact that I just kind of, I talk a lot about the fact that, like, oh, my life has changed and I feel better. And it's true, because I do feel much better. By the way, side point, I'm filming in front of the window, and there's like a map that covers the window so that nobody would see me, but like there's a little kind of like place that is not closed, and so people can see me. And if anyone is going to walk there and look at me and think there's just like a weird girl with a headphones and a microphone and just looking in the window and just talking to herself, yeah, like, okay, I just hope you don't mind. Anyway, I have recently thought about the fact that I used to be so sad. Like, guys, you don't understand. Like, I sometimes think back to the person that I was, like, a year ago, 2 years ago, and how sad and depressed I was, and how unhappy I was, and how I didn't have anything, and I didn't even know how to change that. And I was still a good person. Like, don't take me wrong. Like, I was a good person, genuinely. I had interests, and I was a very different person in the sense of, like, I spent all of my time reading books and listening to sad songs. Right now, a lot has changed, actually. But I always think of, like, what happened that I have finally changed. I just I wonder about this because I want to, first of all, because I guess I have a little bit of I don't have this fear anymore. I used to have a fear of, like, going back to that depressed state, and I think a lot of people who were through depression or, like, bad eras in their life think then they get out of there and they have a lot of fears of, like, what if I get back to that place, and I really wouldn't want to. But what I have is I kind of got over the fear of getting back there because I've been good for quite a long time at this point, and I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Like, even if I do get bad again, I'm like, I know how to get out of there, at least because I've already done this once. But I'm also trying to analyze how did this happen, and I am not quite sure, but I think there's some factors that really contribute, and today I want to talk about that. And so what really strikes me when I think about this is how I used to be so scared, and I had this immense fear of getting hurt. And what I have realized is this is the only way to not get hurt is to get over the fear of getting hurt. This paradox of, like, the only way to not fail is to get over the fear of failure. And the only way to whatever is to just not be scared of it, because you're going to attract whatever you are scared of. And so what I had is that I got hurt so many times when I was a kid, and, like, hurt in even minor ways. When I say hurt, it doesn't mean, like, it just, the human relationships, when you get backstabbed and betrayed and lied to and all of that. And because I was like literally just, like, so naive, and I always forgave people for everything. I never hold grudges. I was just like, that's fine. And then people do the same shit over and over again. And I did not, leave those people because I was so scared of being left on the outskirts of society in terms of my class or like whatever, and just thinking like, oh my God, if I'm not going to talk to this popular girl again, then everybody's just going to, she's going to like put everyone against me and everyone's going to hate me and I'm going to become an outcast and my life is going to be ruined. So that was kind of my thinking, and that's why I didn't do it, just from survival principle. But also because I was unable to confront anyone. I was unable to protect myself. And also because if people hurt me and they left me, for example, I couldn't handle the idea of somebody leaving me, of somebody just getting out of my life. I could not. I had the fear of abandonment, the fear of, oh my God, like I need to be. I was so controlling in any friendship and any relationship that I had, because I was like, if I'm going to do something wrong, this person's going to be upset. And then they're going to leave me and then I'm going to be alone again. Like this kind of thing when you're so scared of being alone. But obviously that leads you nowhere. That leads you to attracting people that are going to leave you and hurt you and be shitty as hell. Not really because they're bad people, just like because they hurt themselves. But, because you're so scared of it, this is what you're going to attract. And so I think around when I was like 14, I was like, this is over. This is over. Me and people, we're not working anymore. And I got so isolated inside of myself that I just kind of like built these walls around me, this like psychological walls that really nobody could penetrate, and I wouldn't get close to anyone because I was so scared of getting hurt again because I couldn't handle it. And what happened is that after like living like this for 5 years, I trusted somebody again for the first time in my life. Really, 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 really trusted, and then that was broken, right? That was completely like demolished, destroyed, over, like backstabbed again. You know what I mean? And I was so like shocked with this thing because I was like, I have, protected myself, protected in the sense of like built walls around me and didn't allow anyone to be in it for such a long time, just to let somebody in through these walls. Like somebody, well, it wasn't really that I let somebody in. It was more of like breaking the walls, because that person like really, really broke my walls. Because I had like, no, nobody comes through. I don't trust anybody. Like, no. It doesn't matter, good you treat me, even if you're trustworthy. I wouldn't let anyone near me because I was like, you're not trustworthy anyway. Well, I mean, that kind of was the case. But anyway, like the person broke my psychological walls that I had against human interaction in that way. And that was awesome, because if that person didn't break my walls, who would have known, where I would be now? Because I was so inside of me, I was so isolated in these walls that I've built for myself that really, I don't think I would have been able to break them, because at some point I realized like I've built these walls that just, they do not work, because as much as like nobody can come and hurt me, but also I cannot even like interact with anyone because I've built these literally like psychological walls around me. And so I started to try to break them like brick by brick, but it was like too slow because these walls were fucking 6 miles thick and high. Like I was just living in a box, and when that person just like came in and broke my walls, literally broke them apart, literally like through explosion, dead. Walls don't exist. And then disappeared. I was like, that is like illegal. Like illegal action. Like what the hell is happening right now? But what I've also realized, like my walls are broken, and that is my chance. That is my chance to actually, start building healthy boundaries with people instead of just putting walls, how I used to do it. And so that is why what happened is that I could be myself again, because I wasn't scared of getting hurt, because really I felt like nothing matters, and like I was just in such a low point mentally that I was like, I don't care. You all can, everybody who I interact with, they're gonna leave me or hurt me, betray me, become the bad, like they will be awful. I don't care. At some point you will. That was my feeling. And so I was like, why would I even try to protect myself? But it's like, it's not like I'm not going to interact with anyone. So I'm like, fine. Anyway, just thinking back to this, like, this literally was my thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so not well. And I was also so hurt. And the main thing, again, why was it happening is that I was so scared of getting hurt. But here's the thing, guys. The main lesson sort of that I've learned is that you cannot be scared of getting hurt because you will always get hurt. And not in the sense of like everybody's going to betray you. Not the case. But because life is life. And it's always like, because it's one thing when somebody leaves you, betrays you, whatever. Failures is kind of the same thing, right? You will always fail because failure is just another step towards success. Or, like, there are always going to be ups and downs. And if you cannot bounce back from something bad happening to you or, something changing, then you will not be able to leave and get towards any successes ever, because you have to be able to build on your past and the ups and downs. And if you're not going to be building on that, if you're just going to, like, whatever bad thing happens, you're just like, oh, I'm over. Like, I am dead. Like, no. Like, you cannot allow bad stuff happening to you to stop you. You're just going to have to be, oh, okay, cry about it, get over it. Like, you have to be able to get over things. This is the whole thing, is about being able to get over stuff. And if you know how to get over things, then you are not scared of getting hurt, getting failed, whatever that is. You're not scared of the downs because you know that after every down, there is an up. And so it's really like, you're just not scared of getting hurt anymore. You're not scared of getting betrayed, left, abandoned, blah, 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 blah. Because you know that even if it happens, you will be able to bounce back. And not even like, oh, I know I got it. Like, I can handle it. It's more like, oh, okay. Like, okay. Like, did not expect that, but okay. Like, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. And that's how it was for me. It's like when some person or people in the past would mistreat me or treat me badly, I would always take it personally. I would always be like, I would compare those people to myself and be like, I would never do that to you. Like, why would you do this? Do you not understand how bad this is? Like, this is crazy. This is not even like bad. This is crazy. And because I would like compare those people's actions to mine, I'd be like, whoa, if people do things like this, I don't even want to talk to anyone, because I'm like, well, if I was like this, I wouldn't want to talk to myself, but the truth is, you cannot control other people's actions. You cannot control other people's feelings, their past, their everything. You can't, and you will never will. And the only way to still interact with people and not get closed in and just be like, oh, over and done with everyone, it's by establishing healthy boundaries and teaching people what you will take and what you will not take. And knowing that it really isn't that big of a deal when somebody cannot give you what you want, because there is somebody who will. First and foremost, it is you yourself. You can give yourself 99% of the things that you wish for. And why would you be scared of somebody leaving you or betraying you or treating you disgustingly if you treat yourself good, you treat yourself like a good person, you know that you deserve the best. If somebody is mistreating you, just like, oh, okay, you don't deserve to be in my life. Like, that's it. Like, end a conversation. Because I had a huge problem with trying to show people that what they're doing is not a good thing and kind of like teach them in a sense of like, be a better person for me, be a better person for others. But like, this is stupid. You can only teach people in a sense of like, you're showing them what you want, and if they don't give you what you want, you cannot teach them like, oh, this is how to be a good person 101. Don't lie. Don't be crazy. Like, you cannot teach people these things. When I say teach a person, it's not change the person, it's show them what you want and act as if they, treat you the way you want to be treated. And if they don't, then you're just like, wait, this does not align with my expectations, with what I think I deserve. We're going to have to say bye-bye. And it's not because, oh, you're a bad person. It's you don't give me what I want. If we don't align, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. And I feel like because, well, I mean, I used to be a crazy overthinker. And like this funny thing is like this podcast, I started it like half a year ago. I mean, I came up with a name and all this, and I called it Overthink Everything because I thought I was an overthinker. I think right now I'm not an overthinker really. I really got over that. Like I don't have anxiety that much. I don't have overthinking. I don't have that. I really don't. But I still just think a lot about stuff because I love analyzing things. And so I guess it's fine that it's still called an overthinker. But what I'm trying to say is that because of the fact that I used to be an overthinker, I used to try to analyze people's actions towards me and like take them very personally, and then try to kind of like explain to people why I did what I did and why what they did is not a good thing. But like, oh, it's all crap. It's unnecessary. It's bullshit. I think explaining to anybody anything, unless you have like really great communication, is ultimately useless, because what I will tell you is that with my good friends and people that I trust and people that we have a great relationship with, I never had to explain myself. I never had to, be like, oh, what you did, like, this is bad and this is good. Like, everybody knows what it means to be a good person. Everybody knows. They know that what they're doing is bad. They know that what they're doing is just disgusting, and they know that you treat you bad, but they're still doing it because of whatever reason. But like, I think I had a misunderstanding of thinking that people don't know what it means to be a good, and I'm like I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna explain it. Calm down. Who the hell are you? Like Albert Einstein here, like I'm gonna teach you all. Mother Teresa, like calm down. And I think this is like really related to, I guess, savior complex. And sometimes I would tell people about things that happened in my life and they'd be like, oh, savior complex much? Like, why are you trying to save those people? And like, honestly, hand on my heart, I didn't want to ever save anyone, because I mean, I was a people pleaser in a sense of like, I always wanted to make other people feel nice and feel great. But also I didn't ever look for somebody who's broken and like going through it to just like, oh, I'm going to save you. I'm going to be savior. No, I didn't want that. Like, if anything, I always looked for people that were like, I got it together, I'm going on. But then those people, it was like, here's the thing, here's what attracted me in the past, is like people that went through shit, but they're still strong. Or like people that are in a bad situation, but they're like confident that they can get through it, positively. They're like, I will still achieve everything I want. I will still get like, people that were just like, to me, they looked strong. But I think this wasn't a great approach, because what was actually happening is that I was looking for people that kind of, were traumatized and were going through it. And it doesn't, and like, we're just pretending to act like they got it together. But like, no, you actually traumatized and like you need therapy. Like, this is it. And I feel like right now I'm like, I know that all of us have been through some sort of trauma. All of us are, not, there's like almost no person that is fully psychologically healthy or doesn't have any issues, like, because we all do. But I think if you are constantly talking about whatever bullshit you've been through, then, and you're like, but despite that, I am still A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Come on. And it's funny because I'm talking almost all the time about the fact that like I was so depressed and I'm happy. It's not really the case. Like, I still have bad days. But I'm talking about it from the point of like I analyzing, because as I said, like I just want to see like what helped me and like maybe help other people who might be in the same situation and like how to get out of there. Because I really like, I just have so much empathy, sympathy for my past version. Like, I think back to who I used to be and how I felt. Like, I think back to all the days I've spent in that psychological state, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, first of all, I don't even know how I survived it, because it was so bad. It was so bad. But secondly, because I I just know that like inside of me, I didn't have any like bad intentions. I was pure. I was literally just like so hurt, you know? And I think maybe also because, I mean, I kind of was that person that who I'm talking about that, oh, I'm so traumatized, but anyway, I'm still going. I was kind of like that person. No, really, because I wasn't like, because I was depressed inside, really, I didn't really act as if like I got it together. It was more of like, you know, my thinking was life is awful, everybody's shitty, I hate everyone, like nothing can, like whatever, but I'm going to win in spite of all you. It was like this, you know? It wasn't like in spite of trauma or whatever, because I haven't been through any major trauma, but it was more of like in spite of everybody being a bad person, because I was so scared of getting hurt, you know, remember? And I thought everybody's a bad person. I was like, in spite of everyone being a bad person, I'm still gonna be a good person. That was like this. But like the truth is, guys, right now, when I'm not scared of getting hurt, because I know like I can get over it, paradoxically, I don't attract anyone who is hurt or can hurt me, because I'm just not scared of it. So it's kind of like I learned my lesson, and I don't attract those kind of people. And it's so funny, like, guys, now that I've learned the lesson, you don't even like give me any za. Like, where's the challenge? I'm kidding. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, no. I love my friends. I love people around me. Please, guys, don't do it to me. But it's just like, yeah, sometimes I think back to how I used to think, like my brain, you know, because the key thing is like what is happening inside of your mind. And what was happening inside of my mind was literally crazy. Like, you would not be able to survive in my head for more than 5 minutes. Like, I don't know how I was living. And another, for example, I had a habit of journaling, and I think a lot of people who are like struggling with mental health probably try journaling at some point, because it really helps you like to get out of your thoughts, because it's just constant chatter, you know. And when you cannot when you keep identifying with your thoughts and you don't understand that like your thoughts are not you, it becomes a cycle, you know. And I used to journal all the time, and I realized actually that my mental health got so much better when I stopped journaling, when I really didn't want to journal anymore. And it was happening very slowly. I would kind of start journaling every 2 days, and then every 3 days, and then every week, and right now it's like max once a month I put in some entry, and then I'm like, and usually it's like I don't even have anything to say, not because nothing is happening, it's because everything is happening. But it's like it's weird, because 2.5 years ago, when I was just sitting in my dorm room doing nothing, literally not interacting with anyone, just like dead inside, I was journaling every single day. I had pages on pages on pages. I had so many things to say, and I was talking about nothing. Like, if you read those entries, I mean, I was talking about my mental health struggles, basically, because that's what you journal about when you're going through it. But right now, it's like so many good things are happening that I don't even want to like talk about them. You know, I don't want to journal about them. I don't want to share. I don't want to share, because it's like when something bad is happening, you really want to talk about it. You know, you just like, you want to complain. You want to be like, it's crazy, you know? It's like when you have a problem in a relationship, you're like, girls, you will not believe what he just said to me. You will not believe, like, this is, you know. But when everything's great and everything's amazing, you don't even want to talk about it, right? You just keep it private because everything's great and you don't want to share. And it's not the whole thing of like, if you're going to talk about it, it's like jinxed, or it's whatever, it's going to be ruined. Not really, but it's like, it's just, this the way our psyche works is that we want to talk about bad stuff because it's more entertaining sometimes. The good stuff is like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, everything's great. I'm working on my dreams and goals. I am making a lot of money and I'm happy. Like, there's nothing to talk about, you know? There's no essence to this. But yeah. But I think what's interesting, and this is going to be random. We're just going to change the topic a little bit. But it's like, when I talk about journaling, for example, or writing, right, it's a form of art in a sense. And what's happening when I stopped journaling, I had a little bit of a fear. I was like, oh my God, I stopped writing. What if I will stop writing songs too? What if I will stop, being artistic in that sense? But really what is interesting for me is that because I think, my primary form of art that I am really, really interested in is writing songs, songwriting. And this is something that, like, I can write a song about anything. I can write sad song, happy song, hilarious song, useless song, whatever. Like, there's no such thing as a bad song because it's like because there's nothing to talk about. Because for some reason, when it comes to songwriting, there's always something to talk about. I can make a song about anything. I can make a song about having nothing to talk about. This is my thing. And it's still going to be a cool song, in my opinion. Like, I just love my songs so much. Anyway, and so what's interesting to me is that I can really, because I used to be a huge writer, right? Because besides journaling, I was really into writing poems, just poems. And I think poems and songwriting is very different. Or I was very much into, I would write like little stories, and I would write little scenarios and whatever. But right now I really don't do that because I feel like I ran out of things to say in that shape of art. And now, I don't know. For me, it's like songwriting is the best way to express an emotion because, like whatever the emotion is, whatever is, if it's bad, if it's good, if it's weird, you can't really put, you can't really understand what it is. Like, there is something about songwriting that for me is perfect in terms of expressing my feelings and expressing my thoughts because whatever it is that I feel, I can do it through a song. I can't really speak it out. Sometimes I can't put it on paper. I cannot express it in any other way. And that's why I love it so much. That's how we get into this. Anyway, I just realized I've been filming for 27 minutes now, so I think maybe it's time to close it up. I actually have no idea what I talked about. I talked about so many random things. I just hope that you have related to something or maybe got some good points out of it. And I just hope that maybe I helped somebody. If you're struggling or going through something right now, know that it can get better. And it will. I love you. I don't know who you are. Get the fuck away from me. Anyway, thank you so much for listening or watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, katyakarat, because now this podcast is in YouTube format. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram, katyakarat. So weird to pronounce it in English, but whatever. It is what it is now. And yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you can, answer, like, just tell me what you think. What do you think about the format? What do you think about being depressed? Hopefully none of you are. And I just hope you have a great day, week, month, or just a whole life, you know what I mean? And of course, hit the like button. I don't know. Like, I'm going to agree. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.